Good morning. On my last video, I said I was going to be doing the brakes today, but I've had a change of plans because I got a wee delivery. You've been asking me to get this for a while. Yes, I'm such a tease. Okay, here's what I've got. I bet you thought it was going to be the steering connector, but it's not. It is indeed. Great. One metal fuel filter. In case you didn't know, I had installed a very pretty, but apparently very dangerous glass filter. So I'm going to replace it with that. And because I'm in that sort of mood, I think I might just wire up the battery, big cable from the back all the way to the front, hook up a dead switch, not a dead switch, what do you call it? A big red switch along there somewhere, and then install my ignition key so that I can actually start the car from the inside. And while I'm doing that, I might even install the gas pedal. Who knows? So there we go. Not as pretty, but also not as murdery. Right, what's next? I need to run the positive wire from the battery inside here, all the way up here to this battery cut-off switch. I remembered. Actually, I didn't remember, it was on the side of the box. Right, so I need to decide where I'm going to mount this, and then one wire will come from the battery and one wire will go to the starter. Also another thick wire will go to my fuse panel to power everything, including the ignition and the lights, everything. So there'll be one wire going in, two wires coming out. So I need to take this cable off the battery, which is really awkward, but hopefully this is the last time we'll have to touch that. So this cable will go to one side of that switch, so it'll always have power when that switch is on. So I need to decide where I'm going to locate that, and then gauges and ignition key switch. I think I'll put the key there. That's just in there loose for now. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. All my gauges are pretty small, so I might put my fuel gauge there and use one of those brackets that you get with these underneath for the battery voltmeter. So there'll be small one there, small one there. Speedo in the middle, oil pressure, oil pressure and maybe water temperature. I think they're quite important to have there. Then I've got two more here for tach. I don't really need a tachometer in an auto, but it's another gauge to have. And I can't remember the other one I have. But I would quite like an analog clock in here somewhere. But I don't want to mess with this dash, I don't want to cut any more holes. If my gauges are too small, I'll make a plate with a hole in it, and I'll just attach it to the inside, so that if one day down the line I get the proper gauges for this, I've not ruined anything. So I was all set to get stuck into my wiring, and then this turned up. Right, straight off the bat, this is a tiny radiator, okay? It's pretty small. It's like half the size I should really have for this car. However, the one I've got at the moment is not really any bigger than that, and it's very old, like 50 or 60 years old, so I don't trust it even for, you know, test purposes. So this will do for now, just to make sure my coolant's working, I don't have any leaks in the engine, and I can do my daily startup if I want, just to keep me motivated. The pipes are in the right place, albeit a little bit smaller than I require, but I can make rubber adapters to make that fit. So what do? Do I work on the cooling today, or do I work on the electrics today? I think it's going to rain. Bit of a storm coming in, but that's never stopped me before. Okay, I've decided, since I've started in the electrics, I might as well continue. and if I still have enthusiasm by the end of that, then I'll work on the cooling. Here is my cunning plan for the battery cut-off switch, because I was thinking I would have to mount it along here somewhere, but I'm not going to have passengers in the back, so I may as well run the cable right down the middle under my shifter riser, which gives me plenty of room for these two wires to connect. Again, that's going to the starter, this is coming from the battery. So how about, see, I didn't want this anywhere that someone could accidentally switch it off while you're driving, you know, with stuffing things under the chair or whatever. So I'm going to make a little plate for the end of this, and this will get mounted in here, out the way, and that will sit underneath maybe the cup holder or whatever that I make, and I'll make a little door so that I can get access to it. But that's out the way, the wires aren't going to connect to anything and blow the car up, so that is the plan for that. Let's see how we get on. As predicted, the rain came. I got a couple of things done before it started. My main earth from the frame to the engine is in. Drilled a hole, welded on a bolt. I drilled the hole so the bolt could go all the way through. I need to put some paint in that at some point once the rain goes off. And Ted, are you proud of me? Look, I put a little shield around that fuel pipe so that the stones don't damage it. See, I do listen. Right, while it's raining, I'll make the little bracket for this thing in the end, and if it still doesn't stop raining, I will tidy my garage. It's pretty horrific in here. It is night time. It rained all day. I tidied the garage, but I made a mess again, so you missed that. Anyway, I came back out when the rain stopped, and I finished installing my electrical stuff. Okay, so that's the main feed coming from the battery, positive. It's earthed on the chassis at the back. Then I have this battery cut-off switch, and it's removable, so any of you scumbags thought you could come and power up my car and drive it off, foiled, because that comes with me. And I've got two of them in case I lose one, which I will. So that's the main cable going to the starter motor, and that's the big thick red wire going to the fuse panel, and then feeding everything electrical. So that is all I've done. So tomorrow I need to wire up my key. I was going to put it there, but it's just a bit close to the bottom of this, and it might touch, some of the terminals might touch. So I'm going to have to drill a new hole. I'll probably drill it there for the key. And that hole there I will use for the big red warning light that says your battery isn't charging or whatever. So that's it today, I'm afraid. Well, thanks for dropping by. Sorry I didn't get much done. Some days you're in the zone, some days you just can't be bothered, and the rain didn't help. So tomorrow I'll finish off wiring up the ignition and do a little test fire. Might even put some fuel in it. Ooh, exciting. And then I think I will skip the brakes and go straight to the cooling, because I need to make a core shroud, so that'll be fun. Anyway, please subscribe if you've not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.